SOTERIA sheds light on the differences between not only countries but also within the regions. And we talk about risk assessment and the need of guiding the European Union toward our standards. But what would you say are the key recommendations or takeaway from SOTERIA in that respect? And then in terms of standardization, but most importantly, the boundaries that we may not cross when we're trying that standardization.
Well, Soteria is, I am Maria Jose Sanchez. I am the coordinator of Soteria, and my institute is the Vice Center for Climate Change. Soteria actually, what tries to do is first work or bring together two different worlds. One is the research, and the other one is the implementers. That means citizens, sector, business, municipalities, and so on. These two communities are very different. They don't talk the same language. So what Soteria was bringing in the first place was a common language to understand each other and being able to work together and to co-produce something that was actionable by the communities that are demanding support. What we learned was basically that you need some framework to work together because we are very different. So in order to work in a structured manner, we need a framework. And this is what the European Commission can provide. They can provide a framework to work together. The question, the critical question is how much we can actually prescribe and standardize either way, ways to do risk assessment, ways to do solutions that are effective and actionable in every single context in Europe. So what Soteria is actually discovering is that yes, you need the framework, you may need some common elements, you need to be very careful actually not to overprescribe or overregulate in a way that you are challenging the diversity that you have. And this will be bad also because you won't be able to learn actually from the diversity and the bottom-up exercises. There's a lot of knowledge. The mission on adaptation is been collecting a lot of knowledge. The stakeholders themselves, for example, cities are being also giving us lessons. It's not only ourselves giving knowledge to them, they are also giving knowledge to us. For example, cities were saying, we cannot work on one mission on mitigation and climate neutrality and another mission work on adaptation. At other levels, these things come to go together. So in the last review of the contracts, city contracts in the mission on climate neutrality, then themselves forced the inclusion of adaptation. This is a lesson for us, right? Because a scientific community has been working always in a separate packets for mitigation and adaptation. So I think these types of things is what Soteria has been discovering. I think Soteria is always been very keen on bridging with other communities. And today is an example where we're reaching with the disaster management community, because otherwise we may have the temptation to reinvent the wheel on how you deal with disasters, right? And there's been a lot of knowledge. The climate disasters are one more disaster, right? But there's a lot of knowledge there. So I think that's what Soteria is bringing. So I will say that Soteria is not only aiming to be a game changer, but it's also aiming to be a space for working together.
And in that line, if the community were to expand, either like the SOTERIA consortium or anyone working with the results of from SOTERIA, if they were to expand on one single thing, what would you suggest them to do?
I think if we would like to, if we have to expand, what I will say is that we could expand actually on these bridges between, um, uh, low carbon societies and resilient societies, so that we convince the private sector that when they develop new business, this business have to be thought also taking into account the need of increased resilience, but also with the local authorities. Um, and that they will also bring and work together in a way that they co-produce solutions for contexts that are having similar problems, no? And you need to find the units where you want to work that actually bring you together, no? It could be a watershed, it could be a city and a urban area, it could be a region, depends.